Hello children, we are back with another set of interesting stories and poems that I am sure all of us will enjoy. So the story we will read today is about a mongoose who was half gold. Is it really possible for anybody to become golden? Let us see. So today's story is The Golden Mongoose. Mongoose जानते हैं ना? नेवला. Once, in former times, after the great battle of Mahabharata between the Pandavas and the Kauravas were over, King Yudhishthir performed a great yagna. At the end of the yagna, he donated food articles, clothes and gold ornaments to the priests and the poor people of his kingdom. In addition, he also organized a great feast in which all saints, priests and poor people were invited to eat to their contentment. Dil khol ke kha lo. The people who were fed and presented with gifts talked of the generosity and kindness of the king as they happily went away. After everybody had gone fully satisfied, King Yudhishthir too stood up to go to the palace along with his brothers, talking about the grandeur of their donation and that it would beget them a great name in history. Just then, he saw a mongoose rolling on the ground where he had stood giving away the gifts. The mongoose was a queer one. Half of his body was of beautiful golden color, while the other half was natural brown. Do you know this word? Queer. It means strange. Seeing the unusual way in which the mongoose rolled on the ground, King Yudhishthir thought that he wanted to eat. So he called, "O lovely mongoose, you are welcome to this grand yagna. Tell me what you want so that I can send you satisfied." The mongoose stopped rolling on the ground and looked at his own body closely. Arjuna said, "Don't hesitate, O little mongoose. In this great performance, it has been our endeavor to send every creature fully contented, so you too must. Tell us whether you want to eat to your appetite or you desire a gold ornament for your beautiful body. I promise that you won't go disappointed." "Disappointed I am, I should tell you," said the half-golden mongoose in his squeaky human voice. Strange है ना, एक mongoose human voice में बात कर रहा है, but he was. "I had come here with great expectation. I have rolled on this ground so that my remaining body too turns golden, but I am dismayed to find that it hasn't." Arjun came near the mongoose and picked him up in his arms. He said, "Dear mongoose, tell me how half of your body turned into golden color while the remaining half retains its natural color." At Arjun's request, the mongoose told the following story. "I lived in a village that stood at the edge of a forest far away from here. I would often sneak into people's houses to get food. All the people in the village were kind and generous. They would give me to eat whatever they could spare. As luck would have it, rains failed for 3 consecutive years. Consecutive का meaning जानते हैं? Consecutive means one after the other. Since the people of the village were quite poor, their condition went from bad to worse. They could hardly manage to survive, and with it, their generosity too diminished, for they were quite helpless. Another word, diminished, meaning कि उनकी generosity थोड़ी कम हो गई. In this village, there lived a priest with his wife and his son and son's wife. He would go for begging alms from the village folks. People would give him some money and food. However, after the drought had struck, it became very difficult for him to get anything in alms, as people had no more for themselves even. It adversely affected the priest and his family. There were days when he did not get anything to eat. but his trust in God and human values never went down. अब जब इतना ड्राउट हो गया कि लोगों के पास पैसा, खाने का सामान कम हो गया, तो वो देते कैसे? लेकिन फिर भी प्रीस्ट की श्रद्धा गॉड के लिए कम नहीं हुई. One such day, I visited the priest's house with a hope to get something to eat. All the 4 members sat talking to each other. From their conversation, I came to know that they had not eaten anything for the last 3 days. Presently, they had a little amount of wheat flour from which only 4 small chapatis could be made. The priest's wife said, "The flour is too little to feed the 4 of us, so I will make 3 chapatis for you 3 to eat." हमारे घर में भी हमारी मम्मी का यही हाल होता है ना. अगर कोई चीज़ थोड़ी है खाने में तो उनकी कोशिश होती है कि बाकी सब खा लें, मेरा चल जाएगा. No, you must make 4 of them so that each of us can get 1 each. All of us are equally starving, said the priest. His son and son's wife also said so. तो सबका मानना था कि जब चारों इक्वली हंग्री हैं तो सिर्फ एक भूखा क्यों रहे? बेशक छोटी बने, लेकिन 4 ही चपातीज बनाओ तो ताकि सबको एक एक मिल जाए. Thus, the priest's wife made 4 small and thin chapatis and gave 1 each to all of them, keeping 1 for herself. They were about to start eating. Just then, there was a knock on the door. The priest who had picked up the chapati to eat placed it back in the plate and asked his wife to answer the knock. On the door appeared a lean and thin man with tattered clothes. Tattered मतलब फटे पुराने कपड़े. It was writ large on his wrinkled face that he had not got anything to eat for several days. देख रहे हैं आप कैसे फटे पुराने कपड़े पहने हैं और क्या हालत है. इसकी हालत देख कर के ही इन सबको पता चल गया कि काफ़ी दिनों से उसने कुछ खाया नहीं है. खाया तो खैर इन लोगों ने भी कुछ नहीं था 3 दिन से. फिर भी देखते हैं आगे क्या हुआ. How can we help you? asked the priest. I am a poor traveler. I am tired and hungry. I will be happy if you give me shelter for the night and something to eat. I haven't eaten for 3 days, said the newcomer. अब जो स्ट्रेंजर आया था उसने भी 3 दिन से कुछ नहीं खाया था. Please come in and sit down, said the priest. You are our guest and are like God to us. But I am afraid I can't give you much to eat. I can give you only a chapati, said the priest. And he held out his plate with the chapati of his share to the newcomer. The newcomer hurriedly ate up the chapati. Does that satisfy you? asked the priest. Oh, how wonderful the chapati was, but it was too small. I feel I haven't eaten anything at all. I feel hungrier now, remarked the newcomer. जब हमें बहुत ज़्यादा भूख लग रही होती है ना, तो एक सिंपल सी रोटी भी हमें कितनी टेस्टी लगती है. और जब बहुत ज़्यादा भूख लग रही होती है तो थोड़ा सा खाने के बाद ऐसे लगता है कि भूख तो और बढ़ गई है. यही उस स्ट्रेंजर के साथ भी यही हुआ. At this, the priest's wife gave her chapati too to the newcomer. He gulped it down immediately and said, "Eating less than my appetite has caused my stomach ache. I had better eaten nothing." Saying this, he caught his stomach and groaned in pain. क्योंकि अभी भी भूख लगी थी और भूख के हिसाब से थोड़ा खाया था तो पेट में उसके दर्द होने लगा. The priest's son and the son's wife also gave their chapatis to the newcomer. Only then he felt satisfied. Then he lay down on the floor and fell fast asleep, snoring loudly, fully oblivious to the trauma he had caused to the priest and the family. उसको मालूम ही नहीं था कि जो उसने चारों रोटियां खा ली हैं वो उन लोगों की हैं जिन्होंने खुद 3 दिनों से कुछ नहीं खाया था। वो क्योंकि उसका पेट भर गया तो वो सो गया। I could see a faint smile on the face of the priest and his family members instead. They lay down to sleep without grumbling anything. खुद खाली पेट थे मगर फिर भी उन सबके फेस पे एक स्माइल थी और बिना कुछ कहे वो भी सो गए। This incident moved me so much that I felt infinite bliss. Infinite bliss, बहुत सारा आनंद जिसकी कोई सीमा ही नहीं। I rolled on the ground in joy and praised the priest and his family members for their unparalleled sacrifice. Saying this, the mongoose fell silent. Arjun patted the little mongoose and asked, "What happened to the priest and his family?" Theirs was a supreme sacrifice. They could no more bear the hunger. They starved to death the same night, said the mongoose in a coarse, heavy voice. इतना इमोशन से भर गया था वो भी। Oh, that's very sorrowful indeed. No doubt, what the priest and his family did cannot be matched, commented Arjun. But you haven't told how half of your body turned golden. I told you. I rolled on the ground there. Where I had rolled, the priest's wife had prepared the chapatis there. A very little flour from the chapatis had sprinkled there, and those tidbits of the flour touched my body. Wherever they touched, my body went golden. This is how half of my body has turned golden, paused the mongoose for a little while. And ever since, I wander from place to place to find a place where I can roll to make my whole body golden, but I have failed completely. Arjun's eyes had dampened at the story. So was the case with Yudhishthir. Arjun stooped forward to leave the mongoose on the ground and wiped his eyes. Yudhishthir too was sad because his grand presents had failed to match the poor priest's sacrifice. तो हमने क्या सीखा और क्या देखा? अगर हमारे पास बहुत कुछ है तो थोड़ा सा किसी को देकर के भी हम कितना खुश होते हैं ना कि हमने कितना दान दिया। लेकिन जब हमारे पास कुछ भी ना हो और हमारे सामने कोई ऐसा आ जाए उसके पास भी कुछ ना हो, और अगर हमें कुछ थोड़ा सा मिल जाए और वो भी हम किसी के साथ शेयर कर लें, तो जो खुशी मिलती है उसका कोई जवाब ही नहीं है।